Take us out, Warren.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Warren Connolly here, coming to you from Hungary in Central Europe with my co-presenter, Mr.
Paul Bursey from, where am I? Oh, Whittam in Essex in the UK. Well, I live in loads of different places sometimes, so I have to think about it every time.
And sometimes I live in loads of different places.
We see him here, we see him there, usual Scarlet Pimpernel. Yes, well, today's subject, I'm going to get straight into it, and it's break out of the rut and reconnect. Okay, so you're going to, hopefully you're going to deal with the reconnect bit. And obviously with the breaking out of the rut. Now, obviously, have you found yourself in the rut before? Now, before you answer that, I'll answer it probably yes. We all have. Everyone has. And remember, a rut is a coffin with the ends kicked out. Now, depending on what situation you find yourself in, or what place, or what environment, the rut could be very, very big, or it could be quite small. Okay? Now, the challenge is are you going to stay there? Mm-hmm. Okay, because we all have our little down periods. We all have where we're stuck and don't really. We know the answers, but we tend to hide them, I think, and we have to go seeking it again, don't we? And sometimes it doesn't appear to be any way out. So, Warren, have you been in a rut before?
You mean besides now? Yeah, I just said to Paul now I'm experiencing a bit of an energy rut today, so which is not entirely unexpected, but nevertheless, yeah, of course I've been in a rut before, of course, and I mean personally sometimes they're very challenging to get out of and get over, and other times you kind of just like brush it off the shoulder and move on, So you have, as Paul said, you have different lengths of different depths and lengths of ruts, and it's like anything in life, you can either let it drag you down, or you can turn it around and get a spring in your step and push through it. Yeah. So it's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I look at a rut like this. There are some people that get in a rut that actually put their hands on the side of the rut and look over. Mm-hmm. And there are other times when the rut is quite bad, right, or whatever it is you're in, and you can't see over the top. The one that worries me is the people that can actually see over the top and don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Remain in the rut.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, energy-wise, I hate to say it, but I'm bouncing off the walls at the moment.
Don't hate saying that.
We all go through phases, don't we? So, but
also, it's this a rut for me as well is a potential learning opportunity as well for.
Oh yeah.
So it's an opportunity to see where in your life things are not working out, obviously, and take that lesson on board and then action on it. And that action is the only thing that's going to get you out of the rut, right? The action.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes the old directional finder's not working.
Yeah.
You lose sight of what you're doing. You lose sight of your outcome or what the result or desire that you're working towards. Mm-hmm. Or it could be other areas as well. It's not just what we do with entrepreneurship and health and wellness. It's in every area of your life, relationships, everything, business, fitness, hobbies, could be anything. It really doesn't.
Whateverness.
Yeah, that's right. So the decision you've got to make really is it worth saving? Is it worth? You're going to get out of the rut. You've got to get out of the rut. There's no doubt about it. And we've all played the victim, I'm sure, sometime, some more than others, as you know. But you need to. I mean, are you in a rut right now? That's the question. Sometimes you're in a rut and you don't even realize it. That's the other thing as well.
So what are the symptoms of a rut?
Lethargy.
Yeah.
Lack of energy. Boredom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it could, you could have a million and one things, but definitely a lack of focus.
No wonder why people are confused,
Well, yeah.
and they don't know.
Well, look, life is up and down, and what we have to do is accept that life is up and down.
Yeah,
So when it's up, it's great, but no, at some stage you're going to have some downs. So you've obviously got to identify it, and know you're in the rut. But don't. One of the big things is don't attack yourself. We talk about this all the time about attacking yourself verbally or with inside your little voice in the head, saying what an idiot I am and things like that, and and it doesn't serve you. It's the same as dropping something and breaking it. What can you do? You can go, oh crap, or you could attack yourself and say a lot worse words than that. But you don't. In the long term, you don't do yourself any good. You just say, I've just got to be more careful next time.
true.
And put a smile on your face and hope that the valuable thing that belongs to your wife or significant other is they're going to forgive you. So, because the boot is on the other foot as well, isn't it? It's not only you, it's not only them, it's you as well. So it works both ways. So when do you know you're in a rut then? When you're uninspired, unmotivated?
I think that's a big one when you're uninspired.
Yeah. You lack energy, as we said, and you don't see the future as being exactly rosy at that particular moment. It seems so far away, and this happens a lot with success. So that will be your definition of success, everyone listening or watching, not mine. Because everyone's different. So I mean, look, have I been in ruts before? Yeah, and they're normally to do with love and things like that. So I'm pretty positive most of the time, and I actually think that came out of a marriage split because I had to take some antidepressants for about 5 days, and I said to you before, I just decided, that's not the way I want to deal with things. It was definitely an experience. I looked like I was high on drugs, like LSD or something. I don't know. It's just I didn't have any hallucinations, but definitely while I was walking around and people mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
So in the end, I it's really weird because at the end I laughed and I went, I'm not taking these anymore. I don't need them. And that was the end of that. I know it's different for a lot of people. Maybe you're in a productivity vacuum. Okay, that can happen. Now, obviously, when we talk, we're talking about sport, we're talking about fitness, we're talking about business, entrepreneurship. But when I talk about things, it can, as I say, it can relate to absolutely anything. And so it could be because you're not getting results. So maybe you need to speak to someone and have someone rip your business apart, in to do with actions, or if you're with a trainer, you tell the trainer the truth, keep him updated with what you're doing or not doing, and go and discuss it with them. So they might give you a few pointers, kick up the backside, and you might be as right as rain and straight back on it. Now there are obviously other ruts and things like that where it needs a lot more. Okay, it will need more than one session, as it were. So if anyone gets in a rut and they need to talk to anyone, we can come here, and speak to us. I mean, with Warren, there's a classic example. He'll give you, straight from the horse's mouth. So maybe I'm not the right one to speak to at the moment. I don't know. But, maybe in 6 months, a year, and I might be in that rut, and maybe I'll be more, more useful to speak to. Let's put it that way. So because we've also got to think about when you're in a rut, you've also got to think about your mental health and your general being. Okay. Now, this is what I've found. Okay, I can only speak for myself. Is that when I've had my mental state challenged, okay, I've always got out of it. Always found a way out of it, and most of the time it hasn't taken very long. And a lot of it is based around exercise, getting out there, doing something, momentum, momentum in other areas as well. It's about going out and being human, going out and talking to people. Because for so long now, I've tried to work my business online only, and for me, it doesn't work. So a mixture is right, so that I'm having plenty of human interaction.
True.
I mean, what's worse than sitting indoors all weekend and not having any human interaction? That would be the biggest rut for me, without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, that's bound to start putting you in towards being in a rut, definitely.
Well, the trouble is, I used to think nobody cares. It didn't last long, but I'm just saying, and it's it's victimhood. You're being a victim. But I remember thinking nobody cares. If I died today, how quickly would they find out? Now it's awful thinking, really. But I'm being truthful with it, But I'm in such a good place at the moment. I expect to carry that on for the rest of my life now. So that's me. So is it? I mean, look. Let's ask you a question. Is it possible for anyone, to get out of the rut? And of course, yes. Of course it is.
Of course, yeah.
Always. It's just that it takes a little bit of time to work through it.
Sometimes it does,
and that's okay. If you want to be a bit melancholy, right?
Connolly.
Yeah, Connolly. Yeah, thinking of Warren, so Warren Connolly. Anyway, if you want to be a bit melancholy, I'm going mad now. I'm going to go and read the dictionary. Hang on.
Skip that word.
Yeah, then that's fine. We're always going to have them little peaks and troughs, as it were. So
that's natural.
Yeah,
you just got to catch yourself in the moment. Be consciously aware. Just catch yourself in that moment, and then kick yourself up the backside of the proverbial arse, and sort your stuff out.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a mental rut. If it's like something like a productivity rut and things like that. Yeah, it's imperative you sort that out as quick as possible. If it's an energy rut, like for example, like what I'm experiencing today, then rectify that as well. But with energy, it's you can either jump at it in the moment and boost your energy in whatever. There's various ways you can do that. Or otherwise, if it's a matter of like an energy rut where you're feeling, energetically speaking, and you just feel like you've got nothing in the tank, then you need to look at other ways to boost your energy. Maybe you need to get more sleep. Maybe you need more food and the correct food. Maybe you need to start exercising. And this is where the questions come in, and you need to look at what is the possible solution. But there's always a solution to it. You just need to ask yourself the honest questions and be honest with yourself.
Yeah, that sometimes is the problem, isn't it? When you're honest with yourself, you think, oh. Well, I mean, look. What we talk about the same things a lot of the time, and things like sleep, things about hydration, things about exercise, nutrition, and I'm sorry to say, but they are absolute musts.
Yeah, that's why we talk about it a lot.
And that's when we talk about a rut, they are absolute musts. And then add that together with some kind of human interaction, whether it be you're talking to a friend or someone else. It could be a health professional, could be anyone, but don't leave it. That's the worst thing you can do. So what you need to do is generate positive momentum.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite little saying at the moment. Generate positive momentum. Now, either you work it out yourself or you work it out with someone else. But whatever happens, you must do that. Okay. The problem is that when we're in a rut, sometimes we get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we become a little bit confused,
Mm-hmm.
and other times we could be burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not really burnt out. It's a slight mental thing that you need to just elbow out. All right, just elbow it out and look for ways to spark some creativity, spark some energy, spark some movement, and spark some momentum. Really, I mean, that's how I see it. So if it's to do with sport and training, try something new, change it up.
Even
What
if
you've
you're
been
just
doing,
training in
you
the
might have been
gym.
doing it. Sorry, one, go on.
No. I was
No,
saying
no,
even if
no.
you're just training in the gym, if you're just training in the gym and you find you're in a rut, do something different in the gym. Don't just carry on doing the same stuff. Whether you find yourself in a training rut or in a life rut, switch that up, because that's something that you're going to be at the gym in any case. So do something different for yourself. Don't just go and jump on the cross trainer or the treadmill and do cardio for half an hour and then go push a few weights and look around and be totally uninspired with yourself. Switch it up. Get some energy in that workout for yourself, and that will help to spark new ideas for you and new energy for your body. That is obviously much needed. So it's because the rut is not just it's not exclusively an energetic thing or a mental thing. I think it's very much the two go side by side, hand in hand. If you have like when I was in Dubai and I was struggling with adrenal fatigue. Okay, so my adrenal gland was overworking, and that impacted my testosterone and my estrogen levels in my body, the production of testosterone and estrogen. So it's too little testosterone, for example. But as a result of the adrenal fatigue, I was just physically and mentally tired all the time. So that started playing on my mind. Being physically and mentally tired, it started to play on my mind, and I was starting to, instead of being productive, instead of being positive with my own life and my business, I started asking the wrong questions. I started doubting myself. I started to ask the advice and opinions of everybody around me rather than trusting my own voice, and those two aspects of being in a rut were definitely married together. They were definitely part of the same journey. And it's not the first time that I can identify with that, where I've been in a rut, and it's not just a mental thing, or it's not just a physical thing. It's the two of them are definitely, I find, side by side. They're both culprits in it.
Yeah.
And I think this is also why it becomes so difficult for people to get out of a rut, because they think they're like in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just going around in a circle, and you don't know where the exit is. And it's all like, let's say that you're at the traffic circle in the Champs-Élysées, and you just can't get off the traffic circle. You're just going around and around, and it's the same kind of same scenario.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I love films, and I've mentioned this before, but it really, if you know the scene I'm going to talk about in this film, it's Saving Private Ryan. It's on the beach when it's Normandy, it's D-Day, and there are come for the boats, which must have been absolutely horrendous, by the way.
That must have been terrifying.
And there's this fellow strolling around in one direction, then the other, and because he had his arm blown off. Terrible, awful, and he didn't know where to turn. So that's how I relate a rut. You don't know where to turn.
Yeah.
Okay, because at that present moment, it all seems not so good. Whatever way you look, it's invisible. You can't. The fog's there. You can't see the direction you want to go in, or can't understand why it is that you're, feeling down or whatever it is, or not getting on with something. And so do something you've never done before. Now, I did that today. I'll say 2 words to you: urinary incontinence. Now, I haven't got that, by the way. I just sort of get in there straight away. But when I'm doing studying on my
Okay.
yeah, when I'm doing functional nutrition and a course, and it was about urinary incontinence, the first thing today, and I'm going, do I really want to be learning this? No, it was actually quite good, but when she first said it, Andrew, who's the person I do it under, she said that, and I went, oh, wonderful. I thought I was going to be in a very, very temporary rut, but yeah, it's very important. So in this rut, it's got to be a small objectives first. All right, something minor. Just get this little win under your belt. Just this. I don't know. It could be just read a book or something. It could be just listen to music. Whatever rocks your boat. You've got to find what works for you. So, what do you do when you're feeling a little bit interesting? Well, I'd say down, but yeah, I call it interesting. So,
yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily try to do something new or find something new to do, but I just try to do something that I know is going to give me some space to reconnect. Where I can just gather my thoughts, perhaps without the stress of thinking about what I need to do, and then do something that also just can take me away from the moment. And that could be something as simple as cleaning up the house, washing the dishes, taking the dog for a walk, something that is going to help to distract me, and something that's simple that I'm not thinking about, but that allows my thoughts to just process a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like now, after this call, I'm going to go stand in front of the mirror for 5 minutes, and I'm going to repeat an incantation for 5 minutes, and I know that's going to get my energy going.
Yeah, but I know you don't. I know you don't like me.
So that's another thing. Is find a like, for example, I have the incantation, and I'm going to go talk to myself in the mirror. I'm going to fire myself up. I'm going to work myself up. I'm going to get my body going, and I'm going to get the oxygen flowing through my body. And I know that's going to boost my energy, and that could work for an hour, 2 hours, who knows? But at least I'm going to feel better for the next hour or two, and feel more productive. And then I'm going to that'll hopefully set me up for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I mean, incantations, and concentration, meditation. Obviously, when you're on your own, solitude, they all work to a certain degry. And
sometimes solitude can be too much, though. Hey,
it depends on what mood you're in. I find that I like solitude when I'm in the top mood.
Yeah, fine.
It becomes great, but if you're in a rut, maybe solitude is not the best thing.
No,
it depends on the individual. It could be that you could actually level things up in solitude. You've got to find these things out for yourself, obviously. But we're going to give you some positive suggestions on how you can deal with the rut. And the first one is take a break.
Mm-hmm.
When have you taken a break recently, Warren? When you just changed things up a little bit?
Well, yesterday we did that. So yesterday we booked the afternoon off, and we went to a lake here locally, and they have a whole lot of entertainment stuff there, and it's like sitting on a proper beach in the Mediterranean. And we just went and just chilled there for the whole afternoon, listening to music, watching other people passing by, swimming in the water, walking around, eating different things that we don't normally eat. Just that is taking a break, in my opinion. Is just give yourself half a day off.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm going to take a break and sit at home and watch television.
No, that's right. I mean, look. Basically, you got to dive down. Don't dive down the rabbit hole any further. Get out and give your mind and body some airing. I've lost Warren at the moment, so I don't know what's happening there, but I shall crack on. So take a break was number one. Walk away. You can hide behind stress levels and try and tell yourself you're not in a rut, but you say to yourself, I'm okay, and you're not, okay? And it's all BS. Are you back with me, Warren?
I don't know. It shows me now that I've got no internet connection, but somehow I'm back on with you.
Yeah, you are a bit fuzzy, but
a bit fuzzy.
no, you're with us. All I was saying was that other than take a break is to learn to walk away, which is slightly a bit different, but it could mean the same thing. Means you can talk, share, get help, or whatever. Take a weekend away, take an hour off, but don't carry on down the rabbit hole. That's what I was saying.
Okay, yeah.
The next thing is upgrading yourself. Now that's an interesting one. It depends on the rut you're in. It could be the rut you're in because you haven't got the skills, or you haven't got the knowledge you require, or the attitude, or maybe the self-image, and you need to work on a bit of personal development. Could be a relationship that needs a bit of a boost. Right? There's lots of things you can do there. Bunch of flowers, or whatever it is you do. Take your significant other out for a meal.
Yeah.
Even a snack. Because we're all in different situations. Something that will inspire you. Do something that will inspire you. Because what happens is people put these things off for a year, and that rut that they're in, that they don't even know they're in, ends in this horrible place. And I remember a film called Shirley Valentine. Do you remember that film?
Oh, yeah. I remember Shirley
Pauline Collins, where she was married, and it's just this huge rut she was in. She did something about it, in the end, and it meant being without a husband, right? The fellow who played her husband in that was the captain of the Titanic, Bernard Hill, as far as I remember.
In the movie, The Titanic.
Yeah, the captain of the Titanic was Bernard Hill, and he I think he played Shirley Valentine's wife, her husband. Okay. So, but we all need to upgrade ourselves. We all need to do something and up ourselves. We're not talking about putting more pressure on ourselves. What we're talking about is taking the pressure off, and maybe if you're concerned because you lack some skill or something, whatever it is, go and sort it out. And one of the reasons I'm doing this functional nutrition course, so if you're in something like a domestic violence situation, or you live with abuse and things like that, then you've got to move fast. Do not stay in that situation. Get help ASAP. That's all I'm going to say on that one. I used to be a domestic violence police officer for 3 years, so I know what I'm talking about as far as that's concerned. What about talking to a friend? Have you got any, Warren?
Do I have any friends besides you? Just quickly, Bernard Hill wasn't Shirley Valentine, and then he was in Titanic as well.
Okay, he was, wasn't he? He was in Titanic. Yeah. I don't think who the husband was. Can you? No,
he was in Shirley Valentine. So he was in Shirley Valentine.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I think he wasn't. Sorry.
No, and then in Titanic as well. So yeah, you were right.
And he was also in a thing called Boys from the Black Stuff, where we
Boys from the Black Stuff.
He went around headbutting everyone. So, because that's all I'll say to that. I won't spoil it. Get your mind off of what the problem is. That doesn't mean say hide it. That doesn't mean say dig a hole and put it in there, because you're going to have to deal with it. But just for that little while, get your mind off of what the challenge is. Go and have a deep conversation with someone. Go and talk to someone. Go and listen to something. It's very, very important that you talk to someone or get some kind of guidance. The next thing, and we talk about this a lot, is forget about trying to be perfect.
Oof.
That's a huge one. I've suffered from that in the past. You try to be absolutely 100% spot on with what you're doing, and really, we've got a saying in our profession, and that is, if I can remember it, Some people are eating the fruit. Some people are studying the root. All right. Don't spend all your time studying the root. You need to get out and talk to people and start, and be the nice stuff. You want to be eating the fruit, as I say, and doing well. So,
especially that is definitely applicable in our profession for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Because, although it's a business in essence, it's not something that should be looked at as a hobby.
Yeah.
People forget that, when they take on a role in a job, they don't know how to do that job perfectly, if anything at all. You don't know how to do what you're supposed to, what you're being employed to do. You learn and you're taught as you're going along, and this is this is why it's so relevant in our industries, because many people do think that they have to study and learn everything about the business before they can start to apply it into their lives. And for some reason, when we do go get a job, people learn very little to begin with in the beginning.
Yeah,
but when it comes to life and things like that, and they want to start, and now they're starting to do something for themselves, their business, entrepreneurship, and then all of a sudden they think that they have to be perfect at it, and you can't. You're not going to ever be perfect at it. No,
that's right. You're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
And rather make mistakes in the beginning, so that when you are making a success out of it for yourself, whatever that is, you're not making the mistakes then, because then those mistakes are going to be a lot more costly. So, just make mistakes in the beginning and accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes, and that in itself will help you get out of a rut.
Yeah, but that was the same when I learned to be a police officer. Everyone learns procedure and law and all this type of stuff. We all we had to learn it. Okay, but applying it's a different matter. Some people could apply easily, some people couldn't. I just took the simple route, and worry about the complicated afterwards.
Okay.
And it worked for me. It worked brilliantly, and the challenge was when I went into the business world. When I first went into the business world in our profession, I was fairly ignorant, and I've done really well. Trouble is with experience is it can send you the other way.
Yeah.
So you then think about being better and perfect, and it doesn't happen. Okay, so you delay the action point, as it were. So don't delay the action point when you're in a rut. That's all I would say for that. So, because perfection will lead to fear and failure, and ultimately hinder your progress. Okay, and big time. You need to laugh at yourself in a nice way, not in a sarcastic way, but you made a mistake. Because I used to make mistakes in the police, not very often, but when you made the mistake, you had to go, my fault. Kills any problems you got 99% of the time. Just say, I made a mistake, it's my fault, I'm sorry. Those are the magic words that I always remembered. Always aim for excellence by all means, but not perfection. So that's, I think we put that one to bed.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
The other thing you want to do is, if you're in a rut, is to paint a vision of what you want and what you desire and what you want your outcome to be. Sometimes we know what we want, we forget about it. And the reason we forget about it is because it's not in front of you every day. So my vision, my desire, which I'm not going to go into, is on my phone twice a day, and at certain times of day it flashes up and tells me, and I find that very, very useful.
Mine is. I'll show you. Mine is here, written in my own handwriting, with a promise and my signature on it, and I read that 3 times a day.
Yeah. I've got another one written on my computer. It says, I'm so happy and grateful that I have. I'm not going to read out what's on it. So, I'm so happy and grateful that I have.
And that's how mine starts now as well. I'm so happy and grateful.
It's not tried and tested. You get it from other people. It's not everything else, do you? You learn from other people. And that's what it's all about. So, so don't remain in the rut. think about why you're doing something. All right. And then don't analyze it too long, but you need to ask yourself some few questions. Why are you doing what you're doing? And now when you're painting a vision, you need something that's vivid. Right? If you're learning to play basketball, you need to be able to vividly visualize putting that ball in the net every time. As long as you discipline your disappointment, no, you're going to miss on occasions. But when you're visualizing, everyone goes in. Everyone. Okay. Find things that trigger action to get you moving. And visualization, that's what they did on the Apollo program before they allegedly went to the moon. That's another story. Visualization was a big thing. Okay. So you could create a vision board. And, if it was to go on holiday to a country, you could have pictures of that country. Just keep you focused.
Find things to keep you focused and inspired.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million ways you can do, and I'm just going to do probably 2 or 3 more. And one of them is reading. For me, I have to hold my hands up and say that's for me. I read blogs, I read articles, and books, and mainly to do with personal development and practical productivity and things like that. But you have to find what's passionate for you to read. Okay. The other thing is we talk about this all the time, and this is so key to a lot of things. The power nap.
Oh yeah.
You cannot. 20 to 30 minutes. All you need to do. Don't do any more. And it gives you a cognitive jolt. It's like having an electric. Someone's plugged you in,
prodding you.
20 to 30 minutes, and then you come out of it and you feel fantastic. If you do any more, you'll come out feeling yuck.
Yeah, you just come out feeling groggy.
Yeah, groggy, foggy, whatever you want to do. And so if you want a fresh start and a significant improvement, try power naps. So when you're doing something and you lose track of why, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Remember why. There's obviously a good reason why you started it in the first place. So you need to find that again. The trouble is we become jaded. We lose our way. We lose our concentration. We lose what we're looking at. Okay. And there's ways you can deal with this. And one of the ways is journaling. Journal your journey. Now, I haven't done that for some time, but it is tangible. It's something you can go back on and read and see how well you've progressed. That's all I'll say about journaling. Try it. It works. It does work. And the last thing is exercise. Go and exercise. There is nothing better for mental health and clarity and focus and things like that. So you need some dopamine hits.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And now that could also come in a form of competition. Are you a competitive sort, Warren?
I'm competitive with myself.
You haven't got. Yeah, you're right. You haven't got to be competitive with other people.
I'm not worried about other people.
I have fun. I have fun competitively with other people.
Okay.
I used to be terrible at quizzes and things like that. I had to win, and I actually become quite obnoxious sometimes. I didn't realise it because I wanted to win. Now, when I was doing sport, I was never obnoxious, and if I won, I won. If I didn't, I didn't. All that. But when I was playing games, and especially, what was that one? I can't remember what that game was. Oh, when you're doing you're trying to do films and things like that, or do things where you're and they've got to guess what you're doing.
Yeah, charades or charades.
Yeah, I remember on one occasion.
Pictionary as well.
Yeah, Pictionary. It was Pictionary. Yeah, sorry. On one occasion, which I didn't realise, is I got quite animated because my then wife drew a line. Oh, that's where you drew. Yes, she drew a line, and someone said, "Oh, exercise." Could be anything. I can't even remember now. And it was quite obvious that I didn't realise that they were cheating. I got very animated about it. It's impossible, isn't it? You draw a line. I mean, what could that mean? So anyway, so yeah, but I learned now. Now I do it purely for fun now, so I don't get too. But good, healthy competition can spur you forward.
Yeah,
You can do that with yourself, and there's a million and one different challenges you can challenge yourself to. So, lastly, I would say take some vacation days. Not only take that walk in the park, think about going away. You know, for a proper break.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We sometimes forget to do that. You know, and so have you got anything else you want to cover there, Warren?
Yeah, so I think it's just sometimes it's just to add to what you said, and then I'm done. Really, is it serves you to such exponentially if you just disconnect in order to reconnect.
Yeah.
You know, disconnect from the stuff that you typically do, and if that means you're on the computer or social media or things like this on your phone a lot, just disconnect from all of that. You know, if you are one of these people that needs to be around other people a lot in order to feel whatever you feel, disconnect from that as well. Then find some solitude and some peace of mind for yourself. So whatever it is, just disconnect from that in order to reconnect back to who you are, and then that should be able to also help you find your way out of your rut.
So would you advocate searching and experiencing different things and experimenting?
Yeah. Most certainly.
Right.
Because that's the spice of life, right? Is
Oh,
variety.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the whole key to this is we're talking about health here. Now, you may not have thought that, but we are, because everything that you do relates to health. You know, if you're depressed, it's going to affect your health.
Yes.
Right? If you're not doing some of the things we've been speaking about, it's going to affect your health. And everything affects everything. That's the other thing. So, in summary, being in a rut is quite common. Just know it won't last forever. It's no good denying that it's not there. It is happening. It's unhelpful to you not to identify it. A lot of us are spinning our plates, right? And not dealing with what we need to be dealing with. So you will become dissatisfied with life if you're not doing something about it. And the next thing on from dissatisfaction is distress. And there is a remedy for everything, nearly everything anyway. So first of all, accept and acknowledge your situation and have a certain amount of compassion for yourself. That's very, very important.
True.
There's no blame game. Doesn't work for you. All right. Let go of the self-judgment. Focus on energy and moving on, moving up, moving out. Not moving out your house, but I mean moving up and moving out from the position you're in.
Maybe you need to move out of your house. It's like I have a.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Yeah,
Could be.
I have a client, and I'm trying to drop some
subtle hints
to him that it's time that he moves out of his house. You know, because he's been looking at the same picture for more than 20 years, and he needs a change of that environment, but he's not willing to do that yet.
Yeah. The second thing after accepting and acknowledging is identify the cause. That's huge. Okay. It may not be nice to go down that little rabbit hole, but you've got to do some soul searching and then take some immediate action. So that's all I'll say for that. And the last thing is remember self-care. Okay. Because that's what we're over. That's what we're dealing with at the end of the day. You need to overhaul yourself a little bit. All right. Give it a service. Maybe change your lifestyle a little bit. Carve out some time for yourself. You know, breaks, times off, as we mentioned, regular exercise, time with loved ones. If you're working too hard, take some time off and go and spend some time with your kids. Nothing else but your kids, or nothing else but your partner. Regular, balanced, nutritious meals as well, and plenty of quality sleep. And I think, if you can pick up on some of this, maybe it'll be helpful for you. Now, if you found this useful for you, in any way, or you think maybe useful for someone else, pass it on. Please share this video.
Do that. Yes.
Or audio. It depends on where you find it. It could be on YouTube, it could be on the podcast itself, or it could be on Facebook Live. So with that, Warren, do you want to say anything before we go?
No, I don't think I have anything else to add to that. Thanks.
Good. No. So it's Wednesday. It's hump day for some people. Not for me. You know, every day is a great day for me. But I used to work 9 to 5, sometimes Monday to Friday, and so I did have that hump day. But you're getting over that thing, and you know, every day should be a great day.
Yeah.
You know, every day, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm getting older, every day I'm breathing is a great day. So
every day is an opportunity for new things, right? So,
absolutely. Get out of that funk, all right, and move on. So with that, we're going to go. Enjoy the rest of your week. When you get to the weekend, have a fantastic weekend. Do something exciting and new and different. Go and play golf or whatever it is you do. So with that, we're going. And see you later.
Have a fantastic end of the week, folks.
See you later.
See you next week.